Blue Ocean Strategy, Chapter 2 through 8. So we're quite a ways in. We haven't had a video in a second. I want to create this one for you guys. I'm going to skip quite a bit of it because it is super analytical. There's a lot of strategies and it's very dense. So I recommend reading the book. Otherwise, I'm going to give you guys a couple of the key takeaways that I had. One of the tools that I found to be useful, that easy to implement in anybody's business, family, whatever you want to implement it in. Actually, it's called the 4 Actions Framework. So there's 4 key questions that every business or family or whatever organization or unit of leadership that you have should ask. And during periods of reflection, maybe during quarterly goal setting, things like that. But the 4 questions are: which factor should be eliminated, like which industry factor, which should be reduced, which should be raised above the standard, and then which industry factor should be created. So an example of how these frameworks can be used is what Henry Ford did with the Model T. So he eliminated the factor that at the time vehicles were more of a luxury than anything. He wanted it to be an everyday necessity, something that everybody could afford and everybody could get. So he eliminated that factor. He also reduced the industry standard on build time by creating the assembly line. So he was able to dramatically decrease the time in making the vehicle, and doing that, he was able to raise the standard of the pricing model. So instead of being a luxury that only the very well off could afford, the Model T became a vehicle which was available to the everyday man because he compared the price to the horse and buggy. So he wasn't competing with the vehicles that were there of the day. He was competing with the people that used horses and buggies, which was everybody at the time, horses and carriages, whatever you want to call it, right? So he created a whole new blue ocean of a vehicle for every man. So this is a great strategy to go through with other fellow teammates to see if there is an area, a market segment that you're missing out on. The other point from the book that I do want to touch on, it was more recent. He was talking about what he called tipping point leadership. Basically, what he was stating, that you don't need the masses, or you don't always need, let's rephrase that, always need massive action to deliver massive change. Rather, to paraphrase, he talked about using the Pareto principle. So if you're not familiar, Pareto, I'm not sure, but it is the 80-20 rule. Basically, anywhere in life you could look, there's 80% of the people that are doing 20% of the work, and 20% of people are doing 80% of the work. 20% of people make 80% of the money in any organization. This is just the way it goes. So if you're looking to make a massive change in an organization, you don't always have to go and try to appeal to the masses. Instead, he talks about tipping point leaders. Look for the people that are influencers, the key influencers in the organization that are going to help you substantiate the change that you're looking for. Also, he talks about resource allocation. So when it comes to resource allocation, he talks about hot spots and cold spots. So hot spots are places where resources need to be diverted more to, and cold spots are places where resources could be drawn from and diverted to the hot spots. An example of this he uses is the NYPD back, I guess it was the 80s or the 90s. He was talking about his the chief of police that changed during that time, and they were trying to find out a way to make crime obviously decrease. So they talked about the narcotics division, which received 5% of the budget and worked Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. He got down with his key leaders, his tipping point leaders, and asked them what percentage of crimes they thought were involved with narcotics. The key leaders said anywhere between 30 to 50%. So obviously he needed to divert more resources to the narcotics division in order to be able to decrease crime, and that's exactly what he did. So do an inventory of your life and your business. Where are you allocating your money? Where are you allocating your time? And are those spots the hot spots in your life? Are they the most fulfilling? Are they giving you the biggest ROI? And if not, where are the cold spots that are getting your money and your time? And how can you reallocate those things over to these areas? So a couple good questions for you. Very short, very sweet. It's going to be more in depth. We're a little behind schedule if you didn't know. We're trying to do a book a week. It's been one book that we've been on for 2 weeks. So we are going to finish this book next week, and then we are going to jump onto the next book. By the way, next book's going to be Principles by Ray Dalio. Great book. It only gets larger from here, it seems like, because it's a massive book. But it's going to be fun. We're going to be here through it all. Let me know, what did I miss? Let me know what you guys think about those principles in the comments. Leave a like on this video, share, subscribe, do all those fun things. Start a discussion, if you will, too. I know I skipped over a ton of it. That's why you should get the book and read along as well. But until next time.